Hey guys, some things I want you to focus on to extend the life of your tires. Actually, there are several things. One of them is tire pressure. You want to check your tire pressure as often as possible. Personally, I like to do it at least once or twice a month, and throughout the year too, and I'll explain why. During the summer times, during the summer days when the temperatures are higher, the tire pressure is going to be higher on average than in the winter times. So what you're going to want to do in the summertime is when you check your tire pressure, you might have to deflate your tires a little bit if you don't have any leaks, really. But like I said, it's something you're going to want to do year-round, at least once a month. Because as the temperatures cool, as the winter approaches, your tire pressure is going to go down. So you're going to actually want to inflate the tires a little bit. So check the tire pressures. Now, when do you check the tire pressures? You check the tire pressures, ideally, when before you go for a drive or after the tires have cooled down. For example, you'll see that this tire right here is exposed to the sun, and at the touch it actually feels warm, whereas on this other side here the tires are cooler to the touch because the gas tends to expand when it heats up and it contract when it cools down. Checking the tire pressures, say in this situation, as you see right now, the tire pressure will be lower on the shady side than it would be on the sunny side. So tire pressure check, you do that year round, but also do it so either say at the end of a drive after the tires have cooled down or before you go on a drive, and possibly if you have a garage, or do it in a garage, or do it in a shady area so that the tires feel the same temperature to the touch all the way around. So we covered tire pressure. So like I said, check your tire pressure regularly. Now also, tire pressure, it also depends on what kind of load you apply on the car. For example, this particular car, under regular operating conditions, when there is not excessive amounts of load, you'll see that the tire pressure for the front is 32, rear is 32. So, sorry, normal load 32 and 32 front and back because they're the same dimension tires. But when you have a load, say 4 or 5 people, you go on a road trip or you have your car loaded, it's 32 in the front and 39 in the back. So be mindful of that when you inflate your tires, especially if the car is loaded and you have to go on a long trip. Number 2 that you want to do to extend the life of your tires is rotate them regularly. Personally, I like to do them at least every time you do an oil change. Now, these tires are unidirectional. But before I go on to the tire rotation, also, when you inflate the tires, if you cannot find, here we go. If you cannot find the data for what pressure the tire should be inflated at, you can either find it in depending on the car you have, of course. You can find it in the fuel door, or oftentimes you'll find it right here. You're going to find it right here on the inside of the driver's side, the door. And the owner's manual will also have your tire pressures requirements. However, if for whatever reason you do not have access to the information that comes with the car, you can always go to the tire itself. In this particular case, it says here that the max load pressure-wise you could put in these tires is 51. So if nothing else, you could always go to the max load pressure and still be safe about it. Not that I recommend that. Always call your tire shop, but they could help you with the kind of tire pressure that the tire you have requires. Number 2 is tire rotation. Now, as I was mentioning earlier, this particular car has a unidirectional tires. That means it could only spin in one direction because of the tread pattern. These are water repelling tires, really. So in this particular case, I could only rotate front to back and back to front. And I like to do it, anyways, which is I recommend you do also, every oil change, rotate your tires. Now, the next times I buy tires for this car, it will be in all-season tires where tread patterns are so similar that I could actually rotate the tires crisscross, so this way the tire wears out evenly, which is what you want out of a tire, to wear out evenly and get the most out of it. So tire rotation. Now there are some cars obviously that they're on the sportier version, have a narrower front than the back, and they're unidirectional. Those tires you cannot rotate for obvious reasons. But if you have an even type tread pattern, I suggest you crisscross them. And if your spare tire is the same as your regular tires, instead of having a donut, then incorporate the spare tire into the rotation. Speaking of which, when you check your tire pressure, also check your fifth wheel, which is your spare tire. So we talked about tire pressure, which you check in a cool of the day, and make sure that the tire temperature when to the touch, they're all the same, because when you drive the tire pressure will go up. So you want to do it when the tire is cool, and either at the beginning of the day or at the end of the day, or before the drive or at the end of the drive after the tires cool down. So we talked about tire rotation, and lastly, you're going to want to get a wheel alignment. I like to do the wheel alignments. This particular car has a wheel alignment, has a 4 independent suspension, front and back, and the wheel alignment gets done front and back. So you're going to want to get a wheel alignment done on your car also at least minimum once a year. I like to do it in the spring, and I like to do it in the fall every 6 months. So rotation, every oil change, 2 wheel alignments a year will be good, 1 at least. And the tire pressure check regularly. These are the 3 things that I want you guys to focus to extend the life of your tires. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.